Okay, so now that you've actually created your Centio response and you've delivered your Centio assessment, now you're ready to review and print your results. So the first thing that you're going to want to do, just like you always would do, is go into your Smart Response gold icon at the bottom of your screen, and you're going to select Teacher Tools and click here to start a class. This is also where you will have an opportunity to view all of the assessments you've created. So once your screen loads, and it may take a few minutes, you'll actually click on the class that you administered the test with. So I'll click on Williams, and then you're going to click Assessments, which will allow you to view the assessments. Now the first thing we're going to do is just look at how you can actually review the results. So all of the assessments that you have administered will be in this window here. And you can see that I've administered quite a few of them. And so I'm going to go to one of the more recent ones. They're organized by date here. So I'm going to go to one of the more recent ones that I've done. And this was actually a vocabulary quiz. So I organize my results based on the group that I have administered the assessment with. And so I'm just going to click on one of the classes that I want to view. And I'll click on results. So click on the class, click on results. And then you can actually view here which students have taken the assessment and the score that they actually got on the assessment. Okay, and this is pretty easy to just use if you minimize it and then upload these grades right into your grade book. You can do it this way. Now, if you want a more detailed report of how your students actually scored on a specific assessment, then you're going to want to look more closely at reports. So you'll click on your class name as you normally would, and you'll look at the reports, and you're going to look at student performance for each report. And then the window on this side will automatically pop up, and it's going to ask you to choose the type of report. The assessment summary itself will just show you which students scored on each particular question and the class average on that question, so it's not detailed enough to send home. The one that you're going to want to use to send home is the question performance. So you'll click on question performance, and then you're going to choose the parameters for your report. So the class that the assessment would be in, which would in my case be Williams, and then the students that are in that class that you want to choose. So you have to be very careful here if you're departmentalized, because your students are going, if you give the assessment several different times, you have to make sure you select the students in the correct class. So I'm going to look for students that I know are in that class. And then one of the downsides to this is that you cannot select more than 20 students at a time to print reports for. So it can be, you can't just click the select all students, because there would be more than 20 students here. So you need to be specific about the students that you want to print a report for. And then once you've selected those students, you can just click OK. And then the last thing that you need to make sure you do is you tell the response system which test or assessment that you want to review. And so I'm going to click on the assessment for, it was lesson 15, and I know that those students are in my purple group. And I'll click OK. And then once I have all of this information filled in, I'm actually ready to create a report. So I'll create the PDF, and then this will automatically pop up, and you need to tell the system where to send the report. So I want it to go to my drive, which is B. Williams. I want it to go to my content, and inside my content I have a folder set up for my Smart Response. So I'm going to click Smart Response, and then within that folder I have additional folders set up. One is for the actual quizzes, and one you can see here it says Assessment Results. So I'm going to click the one that says Assessment Results, and I'll click OK. Okay. And it's automatically creating the report for me. And then it's finished. And so once I've done that, I'm going to actually go to my computer, and I'm going to again just find the files that I've saved. So they're in my documents, in my Smart Response folder, and in my Elements of Vocabulary Assessment Results. And then you can see all of the students that I have selected here. These are the reports, and you can click on them one by one to open the report, or you can use the Control key and select multiple reports at a time. And I'll just select those, and then I'll right click and I'll click open, and it will automatically open the windows with each result. So now I can view this student. I can review here the names, their name, the question. These are their answer choices, the percentage that they got correct, the number that they got incorrect, and their overall grade. And then over here I have my answer key, and it actually says which question and answer is the correct answer. Now, the more detailed you are when you actually create your assessments, the more detailed your lesson title will be. So I only labeled this as lesson 15, so that's the only information that will actually pop up on this assessment. And then I'll just continue looking at the grades for all my kids, and I can select print, the print icon, and I can actually go in here and tell it which computer to send to. Make sure I send it as a lock print. So I want it here, and I want it to be a locked print. And then I'll take myself down to that computer and I'll print it, and I'll go to that printer and pick up my papers. And now you know how to review the results from the assessment and how to print reports that you can send home.